1, 2, 3. Good evening and welcome to McKellar Park. It's a wet and blustery day in the nation's capital. We're live at McKellar for the WMPL. It's the league champions Belconnen United is against Canberra FC. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. With me in the commentary position, wrapped up against the cold, is Grace Marr. Good to see you back, Grace, after a couple of weeks out with a bit of sickness there.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad to be back and feeling a bit better, so hopefully be back ready for tomorrow's game.
You missed a couple of matches while you were away with Canberra Olympic, of course, the one here against Belconnen and the big match last week, the 2-1 win over Gungahlin. There's been some changes, though, at Olympic in the week, hasn't there? Eddie Senatori has stepped down as head coach and Gianmarco Senatori has taken over for the rest of the season. Yeah,
so it had a really positive win against Gungahlin, which has really put us in a good spot to finish in the top 4. Which was really great to see, and as much as I would have loved to be out there, it's great that the team got the win. And then, yeah, we've had a bit of a shuffle, but for us, not much of a difference in terms of Gianmarco's been with us all season, and we're now just looking to finish off this the regular season and raring to go for the finals.
Well, you can make your finals position secure tomorrow. It's all but secure anyway. 3 points clear of Gungahlin United with a goal difference that's 8 better off. Only needing a point tomorrow against Monero Panthers at O'Connor. So if Olympic get that point, you're in the 4. So it's looking likely for you.
Yeah, I think that game was really important for us to get the win, as we knew that would put us in prime position. We didn't have to wait for results to go our way, and yeah, I think it's really exciting for Olympic. They haven't been in the finals football for quite a while, and really looking forward to it.
And in your absence and Grace Field's absence last week as well, Alexia Fauna standing up and scoring 2 goals as well. It's great to see there's plenty of depth in that Olympic team too.
Yeah, and she's, only 15 or 14, but starting
just
to lose track.
15, I think.
Just turned 15, yeah, and she's scored a brilliant goal from distance, which just shows the calibre of a player she is. It was a great strike, and just really good for her and her confidence, played herself into the game and proved crucial and scored the match-winning goal.
Well, that's for tomorrow. Tonight we're here at McKellar Park. As I said, home of the league champions, Belconnen United, yet again. 8 years in a row now they've won the league championship, and they'll be looking to put on a show for their supporters tonight to celebrate the fact that they've wrapped up that title. They call it the minor premiership. We like to argue there's nothing minor about winning the title, is there? We call it the league championship.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. Credit to Ant and all the staff involved at Belconnen. There's been an article published recently about their 8 years of winning that premiership, and I think it's, credit to them. They're the most consistent team each season. They get girls coming back, which just shows the club culture is really positive, and I'm sure they're looking to put on a good result and finish undefeated for the season.
Remarkably, they've won 21 of the last 24 major trophies available in the women's game here in Canberra. It's quite a dominant team, isn't it? And they show no sign of letting up. They just keep rolling other players off the conveyor belt to keep coming through. Yeah,
I saw a throwback photo to 2011 posted recently, and they had 4 players from that team that are still playing today, and I think that shows fantastic that they've still got that many players, but also the fact that consistently over that many years with the change of players, they're winning tournaments, premierships, leagues. It just shows that, they're the most consistent team and well-built club from the grassroots up.
They'll face a challenge here this evening, though. Canberra FC, second on the table at the moment, 1 point ahead of Canberra United. They may drop to third if Canberra United win against Tuggeranong United, which is played right now over at Hawker. But this Canberra FC team has got the potential, when it gets to finals, to cause an upset like they did last year.
Yeah, definitely. They've got some new recruits that joined mid-season, the Ash Palumbi. Brit Palumbi. That was, we know from this league before, she's a ruthless in front of goal. They've got the return of some strikers, and they've got depth on the bench as well. So, especially with Grace Gilling, they're pulling the strings. I'm sure it'll be a great battle.
11 points clear, Belconnen United. 2 rounds to go in the regular season. Obviously, they can't be called at the top. How hard is it for Anthony Jagarin to keep his team now motivated heading into finals, when effectively these 2 games, I guess, are just trial runs for the playoffs?
Well, I think it's something that Belconnen have been really good at. There's been times where they've had many games that they know they're winning, they've taken out the title, and they're looking forward to finals. And I think Ant might be giving some of the other players a running, maybe tweaking it a little bit, but I think their spirit and what they stand for as a club is they go out there to play good football, and regardless of where they're sitting on the table, they're there to win. And yeah, finish off the season again undefeated.
Here's Lauren Keir leading out the league champions in their blue shirts, dark blue shorts and white socks. Just a quick word on Canberra FC as well. They played in midweek in the Federation Cup. They won 4-0. A couple of goals from Alexa Panagiotopoulos. Bronte Carlin scored as well. Both of them are on the bench today. Well, in fact, Bronte Carlin is a scratch. She's been injured in the previous game, I'm hearing. The semi-final draw sees yourself playing Belconnen United and Canberra Academy playing Canberra FC. The Federation Cup, it's always a good competition. How serious the team's taking it this year, though?
Well, I think, it's coming at a time where there's not many games left of the season and it's a high load. And like you said, you saw some of the substitutes for today's game were actually the stars in the midweek game. So I think as much as it's really competitive and all teams are going out there to win, it's also a really good opportunity to build up that squad depth and show the juniors you have coming through and giving them some game time at the same time as playing to get results. And really looking forward to the game against Belconnen, and I'm sure it's going to be great matches between both teams, and I can't wait for the final.
Well, Mark Risteski played only 3 first-team players in that game in the week, but he's pulled most of them back in for this big one this evening. In goal, Natasha Vasta. The back four, Bridget Wright, Ivana Galich, Amy McLaughlin and Alice Churchill. Grace Gill and Jamie Berkeley in the midfield. Grace Gill passing a late fitness test there. Up front, Brittany Palumbi, Rachel Goldstein and Diana Genovese. And Marcia Capone will be the out-and-out striker. Interesting side, pretty strong.
Yeah, I think it's no real surprises there. They've got some substitutes that can also come on and change the game, but I think they'll be looking to hold a strong defensive shape and score some goals up top.
Belconnen United looking, as I said, to celebrate their league championship in style. They go with their traditional 4-3-3, unbeaten in 18 league matches this season. Clara Minenica in goal, Ellie Raymond, Lauren Keir, Karen Clark, Bronte Pike across the back, Michaela Day, Caitlin Munoz, Nicole Jalocca, midfield 3 up front. The goal-scoring trio of Jasmine Maguire, Gemma Murphy and Madeline Whittle. Plenty of goals, plenty of pace, plenty of quality.
Plenty of goals all over the park, it seems. It's been fantastic to see full-back scoring. I think Bronte's now 9 goals, which is just incredible, especially as such a young player. And I think they'll be looking to add some more today.
Sealed the league championship with a 4-0 win at Woden Western last week. A hat-trick from left-back Bronte Pike, if you don't mind. And it's Canberra FC in the red who get us underway. Ivana Galich playing a long ball forward, looking for Genovese. Had plenty of rain today as well. It's kind of squalling out there a little bit. I don't think it's as heavy as it was earlier on, though.
Yeah, no, I think it's the wind's going to play perhaps a little bit of a factor today. Maybe the ball's going to be up in the air a little bit, and I think the teams can utilise keeping the ball on the ground. It's good surface, and keep control of it that way.
We called the men's game here last week. There's comments about the surface looks terrible. It is the Kutch grass, isn't it? The one that that goes really green in the summer months,
yeah,
if you like, and it does play very well.
Yeah, it's put in frost resistant. Nothing looks that pretty in the winter, but it's definitely, I think it's pretty smooth. It just looks patchy, but yeah, it usually is lush green in time for the W League season.
These two teams have met twice already this season. Belconnen United coming out on top both times, 4-0. In the first round of the season, Whittle, Pike, Murphy and Day, the scorers there, and a 2-0 win at Deakin Stadium where Pike and Sam Roth scored the goals. So at Canberra FC looking for their first goal of the season against Belconnen United. Got a fairly famous one here last year, didn't they, through Grace Gill in the last minute to put them on the way to finals glory?
Yeah, that was a brilliant finals game. Not the prettiest of football, but definitely the dramatics were high, and that was a historic win for Canberra FC, and they played to their game plan, and Chantel Jones in goals, which they're obviously missing now, but yeah, it was fantastic to see.
Canberra FC, as I said, in the red shirts, attacking the goal to a right in the first half. Clark swings that one out towards Whittle on this near side. Here is Pike, who has scored those 9 goals this season. Caitlin Munoz, back to Lauren Keir. The inclusion of Grace Gill. Grace, aside from the fact she's their leading scorer with 13 goals, her passing a fitness test, how important is that for Mark Risteski and his team this evening?
I think it's really important. She brings a lot to the field, not only with her football ability, but her leadership and her composure. They really look for her to be that screen in behind the back line and connect between their back line and their forward line, and she's got great vision for her through balls, which really helps their strikers getting behind, and at the same time, defensively, she's extremely fit and won't stop running for the 90 minutes, even if she's got some niggles.
Just to tick off the admin part of the evening, Carlina Mullett is the referee, Nathan Pitt and Blake Baldwin the assistants. Early stages, and both sides just sorting themselves out. We're expecting this to be pretty tight, aren't we? We're not expecting Belconnen to run away with it too much.
Yeah, I think, as we've seen with Belconnen before, the longer the game goes on, the more in control they get. So I think if it is going to be a tight game, Canberra FC will want to look to hit early and not let Belconnen, as they famously do, play themselves into the match and just dominate.
That's Raymond looking for Maguire out wide, but it's picked up in midfield by Kaporn. Formerly Marcia Wallace. Ball's down wide, and this is a good break for Canberra FC. Bridget Wright's going to get there first. Whittle's tracking back. Ball into the area. Menenika's there. First real test for Clara Menenika, and a nice overlapping run from Bridget Wright. Yeah,
it was a good little bit of play from Canberra FC. Really positive connection, a couple of 1-2s, and again positive, and they'll be looking to be a bit more clinical up top there, but positive signs that they're looking to play as well.
Here's Munoz. Back to Kier. Looking for Whittle on the run, the top scorer. Tracking back is Goldstein. Had a decent season in front of goal herself, Rachel Goldstein. 8 goals so far for FC. Here's Palumbi. We know all about her threat up front.
Yeah, she's playing out on the right today, and we all know she's got her deadly left foot, so she'll be looking, I'm sure, to cut inside and get some shots.
This is her in the channel from Berkeley. Kaporn was with her, but FC have turned the ball over. And that's a foul, should be. Bronte Pike brought down by Goldstein. Easy one for Carlina Mullett there. Loves to bring the ball forward, doesn't she, Bronte Pike? I mean,
yeah.
we're joking about the fact that she scored 9 goals from fullback, but that's a great effort. And
yeah, she's really grown in confidence, and you can see just driving the ball forward there. Despite having the pressure, she backs herself, and playing with that much confidence, you can see why she's been scoring so many goals.
Ball swung into the middle towards Whittle. Goldstein will pick up the pieces. This is FC skipper Alice Churchill. Looking for Genovese. Out wide, but the ball beats her. She's had a good season as well, Diana Genovese. 5 goals to her name. Causes problems going forward with her pace.
Yeah, she's Genovese's. They're all very blessed with a lot of pace, and played a lot with her younger sister Jasmine, and very similar playing style, and they've got a lot of pace to kill.
Gill played the ball wide, and Kaporn looks for the run in the channel. Goldstein's made it, but the ball's probably just going to roll away on this slick turf here at McKellar. Don't want to labour on the point too much about Belconnen though, Grace, but anti-Jagger, isn't it? Incredible what they've done here, isn't it? That consistently week in, week out, to win so many games and win so many trophies. It's phenomenal. And as we mentioned beforehand, there's some quality on the bench today, like Acacia Argento, next generation, coming through to replace the ones that maybe we're not going to see too much more of, like Caitlin Munoz.
Yeah, and I think that's part of why they've been so successful. Every year they seem to bring a couple new ones in, give them the time on the bench, build up their confidence perhaps in the reserve grade, and Bronte's a classic example of that. As of recent, they've gotten some new recruits. Gemma Murphy's played a big part, and she's only new to the club, and it's those sorts of players that keep coming back after 1 or 2 seasons and then become veterans of the team, and the cycle begins again.
It's up to yourselves at Canberra Olympic and everybody else in the league to try and knock them off their perch in the finals.
Yeah, and exactly. And final football becomes, as we saw last year, a different ball game, and getting the league championship is credit to the consistency, and then it's up to finals football. Seems to be who wants it more.
Well, Galich had no option but to put that out of play, and it's put Belconnen United on the front foot. In the early stages, live on Bar TV Sports. 7 minutes gone, no score in the WMPL. Whittle turning. Bit of a mix-up in the back there by FC, but they get rid of it. And there's the much quality they've got, FC. They're going to be on the back foot for quite a bit of this game, you'd think.
Yeah, I think most teams go in when they're playing Belconnen knowing that they're going to want to dominate possession and keep the ball. and there's nothing to say that teams that don't have as much possession can't take away the win, but it'll be hard for them to break down such a potent attack.
Munoz strikes one from range. First shot in anger. And we've seen Munoz strike the back of the net from that distance at this very venue on many occasions.
Many occasions, and a lot of different teams as well.
That's come off Day's shoulder. Clark's helped it forward. Murphy might get there first, but she's beaten to it at the back by McLaughlin. She wins it back though, and Maguire's involved. Up towards Whittle. Wright sends it up the other end of the field. It's important that FC keep the ball as often as they can when they get it, and they don't turn it over, because Belconnen love to counter-attack and throw players forward in numbers. Here they come. Here's Maguire. Peeled wide, looking for Murphy in the middle, and it's going to roll through to young goalkeeper Vasta, who's done well this season as well, getting her team into second place on the ladder.
Yeah, they've done really well. They started off quite strong, Canberra FC, and the difference of games have really been against those top opponents, like against CUA, Olympic and Belconnen have really only been the losses they've suffered, and that's credit to them that they don't let any easy games slip.
Well, after losing the first game of the season to Belconnen United, they won the next 10 straight, which shows what they're capable of, before a little hiccup, a draw with the academy, and then lost to Belconnen. And as you said, it's been those defeats in and around the top three that have cost them pushing towards the title again. And a 4-2 victory for you guys over them as well. So they've got potential, they've got quality, and we know that. It'll be a question whether they can get all their players fit and ready for the finals.
Yeah, and what player is going to stand up on each game. They've got the potential for many players in the squad to score, but sometimes they fail to do that, and it'll be interesting to see if anyone individually can stand up for today's game.
Here's Genovese. Caught in midfield, and as well as anyone, Grace, that when it comes to finals, it's generally not the players you expect to stand up that do, because they're tightly marked and everyone's focusing on them, and generally it's somebody else that does the business.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why it's so hard to pick who's going to win in finals football, because the unlikely culprit, and everyone loves an underdog, and the focus perhaps is switched off, and someone's given a golden opportunity, and more often than not they take it.
Good challenge by Galich on Munoz. She sent that free kick into the penalty area, which was cleared by Clark. No real pattern to the game just yet. Good full in by Wright. It's Clark at the back. No Jess Rashart for her today alongside her, which has been for most of the season. She's on the bench. Churchill's back to defend. Pressure from Maguire. Looks to find Genovese, and it should be a throw for Belconnen. Just goes to show the quality we're talking about they have on the bench when Jess Rashart is named amongst the substitutes today.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that might be,
Well, here's a shot from distance. Oh my word, that is absolutely spectacular.
Fantastic.
From Jasmine Maguire. Ball from the Blue Devils lead, league champions in front.
That was a fantastic finish. You could just see I had to stop talking because I could see that one going in from the moment she struck the ball. It was a great strike, and you can see finishing in the top corner. It's credit to her. It's a great little individual goal.
A microcosm, if you like, of why they are league champions when someone like Jazz Maguire, 9th of the season, and it was a beautiful strike. There was no way on earth that Vasta was going to get anywhere near that.
No, it's fantastic, and Belconnen are very up to scoring team goals, but then they also have players that can do something like that.
Well, 1-0, Jazz Maguire with the goal. Contender for goal of the season for sure. Clark sends that forwards. How can Canberra FC respond to going a goal down? Here's Munoz in midfield, Day in midfield rather, and she tries to slide Pike through. This is when it's danger time for teams when they're playing Belconnen, when they concede.
Yeah, Belconnen growing confidence after every goal they score, and you can see there Bronte's already getting up into the Canberra FC back line, and Maddie doesn't seem too concerned to drop back, so they're looking to attack in numbers.
Don't know if you saw that magpie nearly landed on your head there. I think it swooped past us in a commentary position.
It is, spring is coming.
Here's Day in midfield. Good turn. Now Clark, Pike's the outlet on the left-hand side. Good tracking back by Palumbi. Pike won't let it settle though. And that's the quality that we were talking about in the final third. When they can finish like that, with a shot from that distance, everybody else just sits back and watches and goes, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah,
what can you do?
It is one of those goals that you admire in its own right of its brilliance, but at the same time, I'm sure Belconnen is still going to push for more goals and try get some simpler tap-ins, because those shots don't always go in, and Canberra FC really need to start trying to tighten up now. They're giving away a lot of cheap balls, and that's eventually going to kill them when we get later into the game.
That was Kaporn coming in, and thrashing it into the stands was Karen Clark. See if Canberra FC have a response. Here's Whittle. Does a fair bit of defending as well. He's not afraid to track back, which is what you want from a striker, I guess. He's scored 16 goals this season, defending from the front. Good challenge by Churchill. Picked up by Goldstein, but she's robbed by Day. Wins it back again, though. And in turn, it's won back by Michaela Day.
Yeah, you can see that as soon as Rachel Goldstein won that ball, she was the highest player, part maybe one other, and Belconnen had eight behind the ball. So for them, it's really important that when they do win that ball, they perhaps keep it circulated and get the numbers forward.
Here's Keir at the back, calming influence. Raymond, plenty of experience across that back line. Plenty of experience throughout the team. Clark. Puck could do well to keep that in. Asked a little bit too much of the fullback. Battle in the middle of the park, and it's Berkeley who's pushed off the ball by Munoz. Physical strength as well as the football nous with Caitlin Munoz.
Yeah, it's really great to see her still out playing perhaps maybe 90 minutes tonight, but it's really good to see that she's still pulling the strings and making sure the young ones know who's boss, and she's a great leader with her football, but also with her spirit, and a real treasure for Belconnen.
Been around for a long time, and I'm sure she's not quite ready to retire just yet.
No.
Plenty more years left.
If it was up to her, and if her knees were listening to her mind, then she'd be playing for another 10 years, I'm sure.
Playing for as long as I can remember, Caitlin Munoz. Here's Gill, helping that forwards. Tracking back is Raymond under pressure from Genovese. Took a chance to bring it down, but had it under control. Here's Keir, presses on. Kaporn was there. That's better from Canberra FC.
Yeah, much better, and I think, even if they can get the ball into the attacking half, they can always win it back higher up the field and put the pressure on Belconnen.
They're not lacking in pace in Genovese, Pulumbi and Kaporn as well, are they, really? So if they can get at this Belconnen defence, there may be some joy. It's a bit of a sloppy touch from Day. Got it back, though. Whittle. Munoz. There's the quality we're talking about. Day, lovely turn. Much better touch the second time, but Galich advances forward to tackle. Yeah,
it was a fantastic tackle, and it's going to be a great battle, I think, with the midfield and Galich coming forward. She's a ruthless defender, and that's I think what CFC need to keep the Belconnen out.
Clark finds Day. Looks to send it forward towards the goal scorer, Maguire, who let it run nicely. Didn't quite roll for Murphy. It's a chase. Munoz tried to get there first. It's going to break kindly for Gemma Murphy. Now Munoz is asking a lot of Murphy. Slightly overhit that one.
Yeah, it almost looked like she was shooting, but not quite. I'm sure she would have hit that top corner if she decided to shoot.
Well, Vasta was a long way off the line, wasn't she?
Yeah, no, it seemed to try to curl that one around the back line, and it just came off a little bit flat.
It was Jaloka in midfield. Clark and Keir. Belconnen United happy to bring the ball back from the back, as they often are. Whittle, who buzzes around the front three. Jaloka advancing forward. Now here's Maguire. Ball inside. Good build up again from Belconnen. Whittle finds Pike. That's a decent looking ball into the penalty area, and Bridget Wright had to deal with it and dealt with it well. Now is there a break on here for Canberra FC? 3-on-3 momentarily. Palumbi looks to slide it down for Genovese, but Manenica is off her line quickly.
It was actually really positive from Canberra FC. They won the ball, kept it, played it into Palumbi, and it's just a shame that she didn't have a lot of options going forward. But again, that's promising that they're looking to keep the ball.
It's Galich winning the header. Vasta's chasing, trying to prevent the corner and can't, so it's a set piece for Belconnen United. Seems odd to see Britt Palumbi out there without her sister, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's usually just the Palumbi sisters, usually is the first name. But no, I think she's come back, ashes up in Sydney, I believe. And it's good that Britt's back playing. Was missing for half the season, so I'm sure she's enjoying being back out on the field.
Well, Maguire will take this corner. Plenty of tall timber in the penalty area. You saw what she did with her shot earlier on. Found the top corner. How's her set piece? Decent looking one towards the far post. Might drop here as well. A curling effort. Just over the crossbar as well. And a chance fell on the far post for Murphy. Couldn't quite get under it.
Yeah, it wasn't far. It was almost heading for the same corner as the previous goal. But well defended by Canberra FC. But again, dangerous on that second ball.
Vasta was backpedaling and worried about it for a moment. Here's Gill. Struggling with a little Achilles knock, I understand. Beforehand, there's Genovese. There's the pace, but Raymond's pretty quick as well. Two speedsters out on that flank.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great little battle. Ellie loves to get forward, but she's got to be wary of Genovese's pace, and I think she knows that, so she hasn't been getting as forward as much as she'd like.
Gill. Now Palumbi. Tries her luck from range. Not going to test Manenica with that one, but good to see the ambition. And that's the natural goal scorer in her coming out. No stranger to the NPL goal scoring charts, is she?
No, and she's, like everyone knows, that left foot from anywhere on the park, she's always dangerous. If she was a little bit off balance for that shot, but again, you see the ability and the vision she has, and Belconnen aren't able to shut that shot down, and we could see some more top corner goals.
Well, you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle, so they say, so
yeah.
May as well have a pop from there. You're watching live football on Bar TV Sports from the nation's capital, WMPL. Belconnen United, the league champions down here, wrapped up the title last week. They're 1-0 up here against Canberra FC. The goal, a cracker from Jazz Maguire after 11 minutes. Clark sends that one forwards, and Wrights misjudged the bounce, but nobody of a blue shirt is chasing, and Vasta has all the time in the world. Send that one forward. Clark at the back. She's been outstanding again this season, hasn't she? Brings that calmness to the Belconnen side. Here's Jaloka.
Yeah, she, all to Belconnen's credit, their centre backs, whether it's Kia Clark or Pritchard.
Rasha. Formerly Pritchard.
Pritchard, right. Yeah, they're really composed players, can hit a long ball, can play in short, and also fantastic on the defensive side. And I think for Belconnen, it gives their full-backs a chance to get forward, knowing they've got such strength at the back. There
was Pike doing just that, winning a corner. Speaking of players, they've changed their name as well. Jordan Buchanan's on the bench today for Belconnen United. She's now Jordan Beaton. She married Taylor Beaton from the Belconnen men's first grade team, who's missing this season through injury, but he's hoping to be back for next year. Here's Maguire with the corner. Again, the last one was dangerous. See if she can drop this one in a similar kind of area. Again, it's a decent knock. Pike was challenging in there. Bit of head tennis.
Yeah, I saw a couple of elbows in there, but nothing within
nothing untoward.
Yeah.
No VAR here to give those kind of decisions, of course. And referee Carlina Mullet, she's had a good season herself. Saw nothing wrong with that. Here's Pike. Maguire flags up for offside against Maguire. Midway through the first half, what have you made of it all so far, Grace?
I think it seems to be the same as the previous meetings with these two teams. Canberra FC looking to hit on the counter, struggling a little bit in possession to get numbers forward, and Belconnen trying to dominate, but struggling to keep the ball and be patient, working up the field. It's pretty even, but I think the longer the game goes, the more Belconnen seem to get control of it.
Genovese looking for Goldstein. How much of it is psychological against Belconnen? They're such a good side, they win an awful lot.
Yeah, I think it's massive. If you were to go down against a team that was perhaps lower on the ladder, you usually know that a goal is coming, and you trust that you work hard and it will come. And whereas against a top side like Belconnen, who kept out plenty of clean sheets, but also can score so many goals, it does play a part in the belief in the team, and the more Belconnen play into the game and get ahead, the harder it is for teams to come back psychologically.
Well, if you're interested in the men's NPL tomorrow, we've got an absolute cracker for you. Last round of the season regular, Canberra FC versus Tuggeranong United, live from Deakin Stadium. Huge implications on that match. And another massive game down at Nijong Oval tomorrow, Tigers FC versus Belconnen United. We're live at the Canberra FC game. We'll keep you up to date from that Tigers game as well. That's going to be a big day of football in the men's NPL. Permutations of that are endless at the moment, with who's going to win the league, who's going to finish in the top four. It's a great end to the season. Yeah,
it's fantastic to see. We were discussing on Thursday night at the Federation Cup game the possibilities of who could end up where, and there's such a tight race for the premiership and also for the top four.
Well, Jalocca almost got in there. The upshot of it all for those of a Belconnen United persuasion is that they must win tomorrow in Nijong. Anything else and they are out of the four. Everything else is up in the air. So
yeah, and I believe with a couple of catch-up games coming up this week, it's going to shape up to a really tight finish and could even come down to goal difference.
We have Canberra Olympic versus Canberra FC for you next weekend as well. Small matter of 1v2. League title could be on the line. It's not here because Belconnen United have already wrapped theirs up. Here's Maguire, thought about it, cuts onto the left foot, fires one goalward, and Vasta's down low. This time she's behind it.
Great little bit of footwork from Maguire there. Could have almost backed herself to hit it that first time on the right foot, but not a bad effort.
Such a menace, this front three. They change positions all the time. You see Maguire's come out to this left-hand side now, Whittle to the far side. Sometimes Whittle in the middle, sometimes Murphy on the right. Must cause you a headache if you're a defender.
Yeah, and they've all got very different traits as a footballer. So as a defender, you're constantly changing how you're defending them, and it's very effective for Belconnen.
Good job neither of us have defenders then, Grace, isn't it?
Well, doesn't everyone defend in football, or supposedly meant to defend?
I never did, and that's why I didn't play as high as you.
I've had some coaches that beg to differ how my defending racks up amongst the elite.
That's some lovely football. Munoz looks for Whittle racing through. Can she get there first? She does. She goes down under the challenge, and there is a corner given. There must have been a slight nick on the ball from Vasta.
I thought that was a clear penalty there. Whittle got a clear touch. And she looked like she was going to call it until it went out for the corner. Or now it's going for a throw, yeah.
It looked like Whittle got there first, didn't it, on first glance?
You could hear, I thought I heard the shin pad, the boot to shin pad, but
FC may have dodged a bullet there. We don't have the access to the replay here. You may be seeing one at home. Maguire plays in towards Whittle. She goes down this time, and this time it is a free kick on the edge of the box.
Unfortunately, the meter outside. But this is Michaela Day territory, and as we've seen before, for her, this is nearly as close, or for Caitlin Munoz, as a penalty in chances of scoring.
Well, they dodged one a moment ago when Whittle went down. It may have been a penalty. They may be paying the penalty here. Michaela Day lining it up.
I think she'll look to go.
Well, it's either Day's right foot or Munoz's left. It is Day. She curls it towards a far post. That's a great save from Vasta. Looked in all the way. The keeper plunges across the goal to push it away.
Yeah, that's a fantastic save, actually. That was curling, coming just inside the post, and a really important touch that could prove crucial in this match.
We were right behind that, weren't we? And it was on its way.
Yeah. You heard the Belconnen bench already cheering.
We still have the corner. Maguire takes it again. She seems to be on set-piece duties this evening. Sent straight back by Raymond. It's dipping. There's three shirts converging, but it's the fluorescent green of Vasta that claims it. That'll give her a lot of confidence, that save. It was a brilliant stop.
Yeah, it always helps her play into the game a bit more, bit of confidence, and it's looking for a really good break now for CFC, so good distribution.
Berkeley's pass inside was just behind the run of Goldstein. His Munoz is opening up a little bit now. Munoz looking for the run out wide. It's a raking ball across field. Churchill was back there. Here's Goldstein again. Good energetic display by her so far. Here's Whittle. Unlucky not to get a penalty, we thought. Racing into the box, but the ball's going to beat her.
Yeah,
Just go back to that. She did feel like she got there first and got a touch.
Yeah, I definitely think that was penalty, but that's what happens when you don't have a VAR. It's up to the referee, and it's part of the game.
To her credit, the referee, she thought about it, gave herself time to think about the decision, and we move on. Whittle's touch to Maguire. Whittle chasing after it again. Looking to get there, and she does. Jaloka in support, goes back though to Maguire again. Here is Whittle. Haven't seen her as a goal threat. Yes, swings one in though. Chance here, the header from the advancing Munoz. Didn't quite get enough on it to trouble Vasta, but good run.
Yeah, it was a great little run in for try to get just a flick on the header to put it maybe far post, but great little third man run from Caitlin.
Clark sends it forward. Munoz lays it off to Maguire. Wright's there. That's Capone. Now Gill. Palumbi switch wings as well, and she's giving it away now to Jaloka. Coughing up possession. And here's a run from Whittle. Got goal side. She's got Maguire in the middle. Murphy arriving as well. Here's Gemma Murphy, beaten to it by Wright. Good piece of defending by the Canberra FC fullback. And Goldstein completes the clearance. Good ball in as well.
Yeah, Belconnen is starting to look to get a lot more crosses in, and Canberra FC to the most have won nearly every header. And they've always been good at set pieces. Gill looks to seem slowing down a little bit. I think that Achilles might be a bit sore, and that's where you see the game start to open up a little bit. But sure, she'll play out as long as she can.
That was her playing it forward. And swept downfield by Capone. Makes you wonder why they're risking her today with 2 games to go.
Yeah, I think
that's just her attitude.
That is just a great skill to a T, and I think it's probably, I believe her Achilles has been a bit of a niggle for a lot of the games this season, and I think it's just a management thing, and she'll see how long she can play out this game, but also who doesn't love playing at McKellar against Belconnen? It's always a big game, and
under lights as well.
Yeah,
on a freezing cold Saturday evening.
Who wouldn't want to be playing?
You'd rather be out there than stood up here, surely.
Yeah, it would be, at least I'd stay warm.
It's a bit warmer. Had a really balmy evening here the other week for Belconnen against Riverina in the men's, and you come back, Grace, and it's almost as cold as when we were on the gantry out at AIS there.
At least we're undercover this time.
And not on a metal gantry, which was freezing our feet. Here's Maguire with the corner. Her goal separating the sides as we just past the half-hour mark. The set-piece delivery's been excellent. That's another good one as well. And the header on the far post was from Pike, and it's cleared off the line.
Yeah, it was a fantastic goal line save. That was Bronte nearly had her 10th for the season, but again, good defending from Canberra FC. She'll
be out of the fullbacks club if she gets into double figures, surely.
Yeah.
Here's Keir. She wouldn't mind one of those. Looking to send it forward. Good piece of defending by Goldstein, who's been probably the most energetic of FC's players out there so far. Palumbi, twisting and turning. Shirts all around her. Still going, Britt Palumbi. This is a good run. Still going, Britt Palumbi. Beautifully done. Goldstein on the overlap. Put under pressure by Clark. This is a small snapshot of what Britt Palumbi brings to the team.
Yeah, she had 3 on her, and it's great little use of her body and footwork.
Comes to nothing in the end, though, unfortunately. Here's Galich. That's uncharacteristically rushed from her. And Whittle beat her to it. That's hooked in the air by McLaughlin. And Jaloka must have lost that in the wind. It is a bit blustery out there. Goldstein brings it down. Berkeley sends it forwards. And a foul by Keir on Capone. Chance for the set piece from Canberra FC. Grace Gill as usual over this one. Too far out to have a cheeky pop?
Yeah, I think too far out in terms of trying to contest the keeper, but I'm sure she'll...
Well, she's had a go.
Yeah.
Maybe not too far out for Grace Gill.
I'm sure she'll try, but it's going to have to be a bullet on with a bit
something
of
special to be Clara Manenica from
yeah.
that distance. Don't concede many goals, do they, Belconnen? Only 5 all season.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic track record, and I think a couple of their goals conceded have come from either set pieces or...
Well, 3 of those goals were conceded in the first 4 rounds of the season, so they've only conceded 2 in the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe, you know, tweaking up the back line and the defensive shape throughout the season, and it's shown that 5 goals with the season they would have scored. How many goals are this? Wow.
Thousands. Plus 73 goal difference, so what's my maths? 78 maybe?
Fantastic.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's incredible.
Maybe not. I'm not sure. Maths is rubbish for me. Scored plenty though. Here's Murphy. She's had a few of them. 4 consecutive clean sheets for Belconnen United. Here's Whittle. Looks to get it in. But Churchill was in the way. Jalocka flicks it up to herself. Gill helps it forward, but Lauren Keir advances. Beaten to it on that occasion by Palumbi. Off she goes again. Neat, close control. Talented futsal player as well, so you'd expect to be able to dribble in confined spaces. Here's Berkeley. Kaporn gives it away. Day. Back there again was Kaporn. Canberra FC growing into it a little bit here. Here's Palumbi. She dropped deeper to pick it up and causing issues. Genovese. Just thunders into the challenge there with Ellie Raymond and concedes a free kick.
Yeah, it's really actually starting to look quite positive for Canberra FC. I'd just love to see a little bit more of their defensive players get involved there. They seem to be struggling to keep the ball when there's 6 or 7 Belconnen players back defending, and they're going to struggle to get some shots off unless they have that support and maybe a bit more width.
Gill finds Palumbi. She's coming into the game more and more as it goes on. Goldstein. Palumbi again. Looking to dribble into the wall of Jalocka and Munoz and wins herself a free kick. Gill's behind it. This one's definitely too far out for a cheeky pop. A couple of metres inside their own half.
But perhaps the keeper might be a little bit more off the line.
Sends it forward, but Day's there. And Palumbi was sleeping. Jalocka got there first. Now Maguire. Now the break could be on here. Here's Whittle. Looks for Maguire. Good run in the channel. Murphy's the only option in the middle at the moment. And Maguire will win a free kick. A foul by Alice Churchill. Possibly one of those good fouls to give away. Maguire was away there, wasn't she?
Yeah, it was a good little 1v1 that she managed to avert Alice Churchill, but Alice wasn't letting her get in past with or without the ball. So
Mickey Day with a free kick. Plenty of blue shirts in the penalty area. Pike, as usual, is making a run. It's a flatter ball in. It's deflected. It could be an own goal. It is. How unfortunate that is for Canberra FC. The Belconnen players go to Michaela Day to congratulate her on the delivery, but it ricocheted off the defender's shin and into the net for the second goal.
Yeah, that was unlucky, but at the same time, you know, we were always told with set pieces, the body shapes, everything to prevent those little balls in behind that can sometimes deflect off in the wrong way, and I'm sure McLaughlin will be really disappointed with that, but I'm sure she'll keep fighting and try to get her team back in the game.
I think it was Amy McLaughlin, was it, whose shin it ricocheted off. Unfortunate way to concede a second goal, but here they come looking to find a way back into the match. It's Goldstein, who's looked lively. Ball finds its way through several players, and there'll be a throw into Canberra FC. No chance for Vasta on that occasion, was there?
No, unfortunately.
No chance for either goal, to be fair.
With deflections, keeper's usually wrong-footed, and it's the last thing they expect.
Vicious looking ball in though, wasn't it, from Mickey Day? That flatter one is a bit harder to defend sometimes than the ones that's floated towards the far post.
Yeah, it's interesting when those balls are hit. Sometimes they're missed kicks that end up deceiving everyone and rolling in. And but if there's enough pace on it, they're usually very threatening if they clear that first defender.
And the deflection of McLaughlin added to that pace as well, and it's 2-0 to Belconnen United as they continue their march towards an unbeaten season. The only blemish on their record is the round 14 1-1 draw here with Gungahlin United. Congratulations to Gungahlin for that point.
Yeah, I was watching that game. It just seemed to be one of those games Belconnen could hit everything but the goal, and credit to Gungahlin getting themselves into the game and holding out for the full 90 and helped us a little bit in terms of keeping Gungahlin from getting all 3 points. And
well, I guess it just goes to show, though, there's a blueprint on how to get a point against Belconnen and how to beat them as well, how to get up in their face early on and perhaps cause some issues. With finals football coming up, that's very relevant. That's why you're here, really, isn't it, Grace? You're scouting.
Yeah. Well, if I would be doing that from the comfort of my own home, watching the stream.
It's great to have you back in the commentary box. Small matter of a Federation Cup semi-final against Belconnen for you in midweek.
Yeah, that's why I was, missed the big game against Belconnen in the regular season with illness. So I'm stoked that we get to play them again at McKellar.
Ball bounces towards Pike, who's up front. Advancing forward, it's back with Clark. 2 games tomorrow, Gungahlin versus Woden Western and Canberra Olympic v Monero Panthers. And the game this evening, Canberra Academy v Tuggeranong. We'll bring you hopefully a score for that in the second half. His day. Raymond. That's a good little ball into the penalty. Jalokas made the run. It will be a goal kick. Those going to O'Connor tomorrow, Grace, they're likely to see playing some part in that match against Monero Panthers?
Yes, it's the plan, depending on how long the body holds up. But definitely hope to add a couple more on the score sheet as well. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. And we scored some really great goals against them earlier in the week, and we'll be looking to do the same, play some good football, and get that important win to send us into the finals.
You're close to double figures yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it was about 9-ish last time.
It's hard to keep count.
Hard to keep count. There you go. The race to the Golden Boot is pretty much over in the Women's Premier League. An incredible 38 goals from Aoife Colville from the Canberra United Academy. And she notched another one in the week in the Cup as well. She's aiming for a 40-goal season in the Premier League, which is phenomenal.
Fantastic. I'm sure she wished there was such thing as a goal bonus for her.
They'd have packed her up by now.
I know.
She'd be on the bench.
She'd be retired.
It's great to see, though, that young player scoring plenty of goals. I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more of Aoife Colville in the years to come.
Yeah, she had her first professional season with Canberra over the summer, and that was a great confidence boost for her, and I think she's taken that into the NPL and really showing that she's a real up-and-comer in the league.
And that confidence is great as a striker, isn't it? Because you feel like you're going to score every single time you walk on the field.
Yeah,
and she is, and multiple times.
They're taking those risks that perhaps they might not have taken, and that seems to be the difference between scoring perhaps instead of 4-6 goals.
Decent goal scorer in your team as well, Meg McLaughlin. A couple of 6-goal hauls this season.
Yeah, she's doing really well. She's probably kicking herself. She could have had 6 last night or Thursday night, but she's doing really well. And after having some time off, she's loving being back in front of goal. Ball in towards
Vasta, who takes it. 24 in all competitions for Meg McLaughlin this season. 21 in the league, 3 in the cup, and a hat-trick for Sally Rojan in the Federation Cup as well. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't, and she's scored some great goals. One was a first-time finish, just sailed under the crossbar, and she's had a bottom corner strike, and it got a bit competitive between McLaughlin and Roshan, both fighting. I didn't think Meg wanted to give up and be beaten by a midfielder. So
was it Emma Guo with the other two?
Yeah.
8-2 win to Canberra Olympic in the Federation Cup. That's why they're in the semi-finals. Here we are at Belconnen watching Belconnen United leading Canberra FC 2-0, and they're doing it in comfort really at the moment. Not much for Clara Manenica to do in the Belconnen goal, but FC have shown glimpses when they've gone forward that they've got enough quality to cause some issues in the second half. We're a couple of minutes away from half-time. Churchill with a throw.
Yeah, I think if Canberra FC can start getting into dangerous areas, looking to win free kicks in around the box, that's a real strength for them, for great skill. And if Palombi can find some space on her left foot, strikes from distance, could put them back in this game.
Day, whose free kick was deflected in for the second, back to Clark. Raymond out wide. Just to bring it infield to Jaloka. Comfortable in possession as Whittle sends it down the line, asking the chase from Murphy. And good piece of defensive cover by McLaughlin. Concedes the throw. Umbrella's still up out there, so we're under cover, so it must be still spitting quite a lot. The Canberra FC bench have the.
It seems to be on and off the rain, but I think it's the wind is playing just the biggest factor is the rain. Yeah, tonight it's absolutely freezing and
not a pleasant evening, is it, in Canberra?
No.
Here's Raymond looking to send that into the box, and Gill's touch was rather heavy. Maguire got involved. Galich clears. Great touch from Gill. Looks to bring Palumbi into play. Given time to turn by Clark, who then just nicks the ball off her toe. There's Galich again. That's nicely done. Genovese. An orthodox 1-2. Jaloka. Now Murphy. Raymond looks for Whittle. Turns. Here's Jaloka again. Pressure building here. Looking to run Churchill, Nicole Jaloka, who does well to concede the corner. Good bit of defending from the skipper.
Yeah, great little bit of defending, but that's what, Jaloka driving forward, challenging and looking threatening, wins her team a corner. And again, Belconnen loves set pieces, so it's a great outcome.
Maguire is across to take it. It's ironic, she's been pretty good with all these corners, and yet it was the free kick from Day which was deflected in for the second goal.
Yeah, I think the common thing is that her balls have been going up in the air, and Michaela's was low and flat and unpredictable, so we'll see what she pulls out of the bag now.
Well, like I said, they've all been good. We don't want to put the mockers on her, but every single one she's put in has been good. That's another cracker towards a near post and a good piece of defending.
Yeah,
back there was that Goldstein back there.
Yeah,
it was
I think
at the
just
near
got
post.
A touch near post. If that had gone over her head, it's in the death zone, and goalkeeper wouldn't have been able to see a lot, and anything getting a tap in would have been a goal.
Got a good piece of it. Needed to. If it just flicked off the forehead, it would have been interesting. Another opportunity for Maguire though to send this into the penalty area. Munoz lurking, hands on hips. Pike making the run. It's a bit flatter to the near post this time, and Gill's there to meet it. Maguire again, first time ball in, that's beautiful. And it was Clark challenging. Back to Maguire again. Third time lucky perhaps for Maguire. Similar to where she scored from, tried her luck. Pike was in there. Breaks for Day, who had it taken off her toe at the vital moment, just as she was lining one up.
I know, it was a big swing, but complete miss.
Well, she set it up and then nicked it away, and it wasn't there anymore.
She'll be laughing at that one, I'm sure. And I'm sure Munoz won't let that one slide.
Turned into a massive air swing.
Yeah.
Good pressure again from Belconnen, and a good defence from Canberra FC as well to snuff that one out. Look into stoppage time at the end of the first half here. It's Munoz back to Pike, and Carlina Mullet brings the half to a close, and Belconnen United probably deserving of their lead. Yeah,
I think so. They've been dominant as always, and Canberra FC, they've been glimpses of playing themselves into the game, but if they're going to keep that up, they've got to be clinical in front of goals if they want to be back in this match. Well, it will take 15 minutes or so to try and warm up a little bit. At half-time here, goals from Jazz Maguire, an absolute cracker after 11 minutes, pinged into the top corner pass. Nastasia Vasta in the FC goal, gave Belconnen the lead. And then an own goal, a free kick from Michaela Day, deflected past her own keeper by Amy McLaughlin, means that at half-time it's the league champions doing what they do best. They're in front again at Michaela. It's Belconnen 2, Canberra FC 0.
Welcome back to McKellar Park for the second half of this WMPL match where the league champions Canberra FC Belconnen United lead Canberra FC by 2-0 goals from Jazz Maguire and an own goal from Amy McLaughlin. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. With me for the second half is Grace Marr. Grace, we're understanding the result from earlier. Canberra United Academy 6, Tuggeranong United 1. 4 goals from Aoife Colville takes it to 42 league goals for the season. A couple, Laura Hughes and Sasha Grove, 13-year-old Sasha Grove, on the score sheet as well for the academy.
Yeah, that's fantastic for little Sasha. I think maybe possibly her first start for the season, and it's great that with the high load that the academy have over the next couple of weeks, that she's gotten a run and scored her first goal.
And Colville just keeps on scoring. 43 in all competitions.
Doesn't look like she's going to slow down at all.
Could hit the half century, which would be phenomenal.
Yeah, must be some sort of record.
I can't remember anybody getting that many goals in any grade, really, at any level in Canberra for a long time. Steve Lazari from Western Creek Masters was banging in 40-odd goals a season at one stage.
Yeah, it would be really
but there's not
good
many
to have
that,
a look at the record books.
Yeah, first grade level, yeah. Premier League level, not for a long time, if ever. I'm sure if you know any difference at Premier League men's or women's, give us a shout. As it is, second half underway. Gemma Murphy for Belconnen United. Their team, Manenica in goal, Raymond, Keir, Clark, Pike, Day, Munoz, Jaloka, Maguire, Murphy, Whittle. For Canberra FC, Vasta, Wright, Galich, McLaughlin, Churchill, Gill, Berkeley, Pulumbi, Goldstein, Genovese and Capone. Canberra FC will be looking in this second half to find a way back into the game. It's the old cliche, Grace, but the next goal pretty crucial for both teams.
Yeah, exactly. You know, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, and 3-0 becomes quite comfortable for Belconnen, and 2-1 makes it a real contest for Canberra FC.
Well, FC on the front foot to start the second half. Alice Churchill, the skipper, with the throw just in front of us here in the main grandstand. Whittle gets a foot in. Here's Jaloka. Back to Whittle again. Glides past a couple of challenges. She's got a low centre of gravity. She's difficult to knock off the ball when she gets going. Yeah,
extremely strong and quick-footed. You always think you're about to get the touch, and she seems to get a little toe in before. And that's why she's often fouled so much and really threatening up front.
Lovely touch from Murphy to Whittle, looking for the return, but McLaughlin's back there. Here's Galich, under pressure, and wins herself a free kick. Well, foul by Murphy. We'll niggle at the back. Plenty of options on the bench for both teams. We'll just run through them at the moment. For Belconnen United, Leah Carnegie, Jess Rashart, Jordan Beaton, Brittany Smale, and Acacia Argento, the young striker who scored here the other week against Canberra Olympic when we were commentating on that one. And for FC, Sophia Evans, Tiana Malnar, Alexa Panagiotopoulos, who got a couple in the Fed Cup in the week, Mia Pratazina, the sister of Christian Pratazina, who will be playing for Canberra FC probably tomorrow in the men's competition, and Isabella Tamaro, who is a good quality player as well.
Yeah, and I think they've actually made the sub at half-time for Bella to come on for Grace Gill.
Good spot.
Yeah, she's. You could see she was getting quite sore, and I think it's not worth the risk for her, especially heading into finals.
That'll be the ankle at the Achilles injury that she picked up before.
And Bella's going to slot right in there, and I'm sure she'll do a great job. She's quite young, but already proving her worth to Canberra FC this season.
Personally, I'm surprised she didn't start the game. She's been very good in the games she's played.
I think the last time we played her, she was playing in that centre-back role next to Ivana Galich, and she was a rock there for them. And it's good to see her moving up the park a little bit, and hopefully she can get involved in the attack as well.
Well, she can pass the ball. Got a good eye for a pass. I'm sure getting her on the ball and as often as possible will be in the game plan. Here's Capone, who's led the line well for Canberra FC, and then scythes into the challenge, and they'll be lucky to escape sanction here. She's not. It's a yellow card.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nasty challenge, and it was a result of a poor first touch, but it's not in a threatening area for Canberra FC, so I'm sure she won't be too unhappy with picking up the yellow.
Well, free kick on the halfway line. Karen Clark behind it, looking to lift it forward. Munoz is the target. Churchill wins the header. Wright lets it bounce and then volleys it clear. It's Capone. She has good strength.
Yeah, she's a really good striker that holds the ball up and looks for the support, and I think Canberra FC can utilise that a little bit more if they start getting players running forward and off the ball. yeah, get Rachel Goldstein and Britt Palumbi into the game a bit more.
Well, if they can, they are capable of goals. Goldstein with 8, Capone with 3 this season, Genovese with 5, and Britt Palumbi scored her one and only goal of the season in round 16. She's only played a couple of games though, so it's surprising she's not got as many as she usually does. A late season signing for Canberra FC. Helps to plug a hole that Chantal Jones left when she was injured.
Yeah, I think Chantal, was often playing up front as an outlet for them, and was really good at holding the ball up. And we all know she can shoot from distance. And Britt came in at a very similar time to Chantal's unfortunate injury, and it's a much-needed boost for CFC.
Well, that was Tamaro's little touch to try and get Capone down, and she's brought down now. And this is a free kick in a dangerous position, and referee Carlina Mullet walks over. Thought she might be thinking about a yellow card. Instead, she just gives a free kick. Chance for Canberra FC, then perhaps the most dangerous position they've had all game.
Yeah, I think, it's similar to a corner, but even that 5-metre difference, bringing it in for a free kick, could prove dangerous. And if it's a good ball in, there's plenty of tall timber that can get a head on it.
We've not really put too many in there, have they? Palumbi's taking it, Genovese on the goalkeeper, but everybody else on the edge of the box making late runs. Capone goes in, Goldstein's there as well, and it is towards Goldstein, just over her head. And a good clearance by Michaela Day. Picked up by Jaloka, who just fairly fizzes that at Whittle, says keep that in if you can.
Yeah, I think Whittle was already standing out of the field, so she had no chance keeping that one in. But if you had a look there, Belconnen kept quite a few plays up, and if they were to control the possession there, would have been a really dangerous counter-attack. Here's
Munoz looking to sweep it wide. That's going to be too strong for Maguire. Nice idea from Munoz. But good free kick going back to that one from Canberra FC. Palumbi swung it in there, and it was a decent touch from Day to get rid of it.
Great ball in, and it was just over the head of Goldstein. And had her run been a second later, or the ball a little bit lower, that would have been a clear free header on goal.
Murphy will chase. Might fall in the middle of the park for Munoz, who swings it in. Churchill on the half volley. That was Berkeley back. Capone holding it up. Tried to warm up at half time. You've got yourself a nice cup of hot chocolate there. How's it going? Is it good?
Yeah, well, it's just warm. That's the positive about it.
There's no other positives than that.
No, a little bit watery, but it's more the heat that I need, and perhaps should get some sort of toe warmers.
A fire would be nice. Here's Jaloka running at the defence. Nicole Jaloka shifting on onto that right foot. Can she get the shot away? Good covering from Churchill. Raymond, danger's not over. Munoz on the edge of the area. She can crack them from here. Picks her spot. Good save from Vasta again. Diving to her right to push it around the post. Yeah, it was another really great save. Those balls where they bounce just before the keeper are often really dangerous. And the other great thing is she's pushed out for a corner as Murphy was lurking there for a scraps, and she's kept the scoreline at 2-0. Good piece of goalkeeping to get the enough pace and to push it away from goal, so nobody could get the tap in. They're still going to have to defend this corner though, which Maguire is going to take. She showed in the first half just how good she is from set pieces, causing problems with almost every delivery. It's a loopier one this time. Bounces around the penalty area and just hooked away by Tamaro, showing her defensive qualities. Of a ninja-style Zlatan flick to get rid of it. Yeah, it was good. Had to make contact, and she did really well to let it go out for a throw-in rather than a corner. His Day, looking to deliver it into the penalty area. Good ball in. Maguire was lurking right, needed to be alert. And it bounces kindly for Vasta, who probably deserves a little bit of luck after that save. 2 good saves from her in this half, and she could have done in the 2 halves rather than she could do nothing about either goal. Yeah, she's done really well tonight. Some crucial saves, but also her distribution. She's distributed really quickly when needed on the counter and held the ball for Canberra FC to set up. And it's such a crucial part that sometimes goes unnoticed from goalkeepers of their distribution. So credit to her. Berkeley finds Palumbi. Now Churchill to squeeze it down the line. Gets it there at the second attempt. Berkeley cuts in field. Genovese plays it to Goldstein. Better football from FC. Berkeley, that's a nice looking ball as well. Wright made the run on the overlap. Maguire was alive to it though. Shot from distance from Goldstein. Struck Karen Clark.
Yeah, that was actually a really good little bit of play from CFC, looking a lot more promising. Tried to go down one channel and had to come back out, kept the ball and nearly got a shot away.
And they've got Jamie Berkeley on the ball a couple of times in this second half, and she's shown that she can pick a pass as well.
Yeah, she's done really well this season, playing in the midfield for Canberra FC. I know she's been selected as part of the Canberra United Winter program, so that's just credit to her performances this season, and I'm sure she'll be playing with a lot of confidence.
Munoz. Now Whittle, a bit deeper than she normally is, and Day miscontrols. McLaughlin got in ahead. Now here's Capone. Can she find the runner outside? It's Goldstein. But on the back foot at the moment, but she tries to luck from range. Ambitious effort. Bounced its way through to Manenica, who's been rather largely underemployed. Here's FC again. Goldstein once more. Started the second half rather brightly, haven't they, Mark Grostesky's troops?
Yeah, you can see the game opening up a little bit more for Canberra FC. They haven't got Belconnen haven't got as many behind the ball, perhaps gambling a little bit, and be really interesting to see if Canberra FC can punish that.
If you just tuned in, you're watching live Women's Premier League football in Canberra. Here's a chance, perhaps. Manenica gets a foot in. It's the league champions, Belconnen United, leading Canberra FC by 2-0. Both goals in the first half. If you weren't here at half-time, at the start of the second half, and didn't hear earlier on, Canberra Academy 6, Tuggeranong United 1. That puts the Academy in second place at the moment on 43 points. If it stays the way this game is at the moment, they'll remain in second, and Canberra FC will be third. That will give them the chance to seal that second spot in the next couple of weeks and go into the qualification final rather than the elimination final.
Yeah, it is actually really, because of the final format, really crucial, that second and third placing. And I know that some of the academy girls are here watching the game, eager to see where they'll finish, knowing that if they get a result against Olympic next weekend, then they'll seal that qualification final against Belconnen.
And Canberra FC play Tuggeranong United next week, so all is not lost for FC. They'll fancy their chances against Tuggeranong if they can get the 3 points there and get a favour from Canberra Olympic.
Yes, which I'm sure will happen.
That'll be a good match, Canberra Olympic versus the Academy. It's been 2 good games between you guys this year.
Yeah, I think we've had one apiece, and first game was all the way back on the first game of the season when the weather was still hot and the synthetic wasn't the most pleasant to play on, but
it's a 5-3, I think that one was.
Yeah, it was a
Goal
first
fest.
time ever versing my old team, so
Celebrated with a couple of goals as well.
Yeah, it was a couple from distance too, which made it a little bit easier.
Did you celebrate?
Just with the team, not really. Got to be respectful, but also I don't have many celebrations in my
in the locker. Haven't worked on them. Well, there's an injury here. Madeline Whittle's gone down. Mickey Day's kicked it out. She just got caught, I think, just the way she landed. That picks herself back up. A little bit of anxiety for a brief second, I think, from Jagarinic as his top goal scorer took a tumble. Laughing and joking with Britt Palumbi about it. And Goldstein's going to give this one back. Just for a second, it looked a bit worrying, didn't it?
Yeah, you saw just down, almost just paused for a little bit, but I think it was just her catching her breath and
just a bit winded, perhaps.
Yeah,
Here's Day.
It'll take a little bit more than that to get her out of the game.
And she's fouled by Capone. Free kick. Capone needs to be careful. Already been booked. Haven't seen Whittle have many shots today, and she's generally a threat, so I'm sure she'll get one in before the end of the game.
Yeah, I think credit to the fullbacks of Canberra FC. They've kept their wingers from having a lot of free shots on goal, and as you see, the only shot that was threatening was top corner, and it was a brilliant strike.
Well, Jess Rashart's about to join us. Have a bit of a change. Let's see what's happening here. Antti Jagarinic barking a few instructions. Is this Jaloka coming off? And a bit of a reshuffle.
Yeah, it looks like Murphy's gone into the midfield. Clark's come up into the 9 position, which is, I'm sure, new. Maybe a little bit of experimenting, and
I heard Jaggerinick saying Murphy to drop to 10, so should drop back a bit. Good evening's work from Jalocka. Again, hard worker. She runs hard, doesn't she, and creates opportunities, and just her movement causes problems.
Yeah, she's powerhouse in the midfield and really complements players like Caitlin Munoz and Michaela Day well, who are a lot more technical players, and she's just as strong defensively as she is on the ball.
Well, most teams, when they move their centre back up the park, suddenly become a little bit brittle, but the inclusion of Jess Rashart, no difference really, is there?
Yeah,
just tight as ever.
Strength to strength, and it'll be really interesting to see how they use Clark up in the 9 position. I haven't seen her play there before, and I have seen, though, centre backs move into the 9, very similar positions in terms of they know how to defend each other and what centre backs don't like.
It's a ball for Munoz to chase. Looked marginally offside from our angle, but flag stays down. Throw into FC. Good thing, I guess, about Clark, though, we've seen her strike a ball. We know that she's got a fair old whack on her. If she gets a bit of space in and around the area, not shy of a goal or two in her career as well.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be looking to score a couple while she's got the chance up top. And
I think she used to play a bit further forward before she came to Belconnen as well, so it wouldn't be alien to her. Raymond will take this throw. Here's Munoz, looking to get it on that deadly left foot. Raymond finds Day. A Whittle. Keir. Plenty of time. Good build up this. Here's Raymond. Churchill snuffs it out though, just as it was beginning to gather some momentum. Raymond. Oh, nice little flick by Day. The flag went up briefly and then went back down again. Now here's a chance on the break perhaps for Palumbi. Raymond tracking back. Wins her team a throw. Just over quarter of an hour gone in the second half. Live on Bar TV Sports. Women's Premier League football 2-0 to the Blue Devils. Churchill hooks that out of play. Next week's fixtures in the Women's Premier League, Canberra Academy versus Olympic on Saturday. That'll set the tone for the weekend. Then Canberra FC versus Tuggeranong, Woden Western versus Monera, and Gungahlin United, who still have an outside chance of the 4, play Belconnen United. So they'll need to pull off an upset if they're going to stop Olympic playing in finals football after that match at Gungahlin we did last week. A couple of goals from Alexia Fauna, helping Olympic to a 2-1 win. Might not get back in the side, Grace.
Yeah. No, I'm sure we'll go hand in hand instead of... But no, I think Alexia, she's actually had... She didn't play in our midweek game for Federation Cup. She was caught into the Mini Matildas camp with a couple of the other Canberra girls. So it's a great experience for her, and it's really pleasing that as an individual she's moving forward, and she's done really well for our team. But first and foremost, making a camp is really important, and we're really glad that she got the call up.
I guess as a coach, that's the kind of excuse you'll take off a phone call, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't play tonight, coach. I'm being called up by the national team.
Yeah, I think it's one of the few that the coach is actually pleased for, as much as he would have loved for her to play.
Good experience for Fauna. We're going to see Leah Carnegie in a minute. Another change for Belconnen. In the meantime, here's Whittle. Dad made the run, but it was just behind her. Genovese, who's worked her socks off with no real reward so far. Puts in a shift, doesn't she, every time she takes the field?
Yeah,
Gianna Genovese
usually runs herself to the ground before coming off, and it's
makes us tired just watching.
Yeah, it's a real culture, I think, of Canberra FC. Work really hard, and some days they reap the rewards.
Well, Whittle isn't going to add to a 16-goal haul this evening, so she comes off. Carnegie takes her place. 3 goals this season for Leah Carnegie as well, so another goal outlet. And a chance for Whittle to go to the change rooms and probably try and warm up a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure even as soon as she comes off, she's going to be freezing again. And but yeah, she put in a really good shift today, and although she didn't get as many shots, she did really well defensively and to provide this assists.
There may be Grace, people watching from overseas or around that don't understand why the players, when they come off, they're not going to the bench like Jalocka and Whittle, but it is so cold here tonight that they would literally freeze, and it wouldn't be good for them, would it?
Yeah,
so it's best for them to go and get changed.
The last couple of games, when if I've come off, it's straight into the shed to get changed. You usually arrive in 20 or so layers, and you put them straight back on after you come off, and then join your team once you're properly cooled down.
That's what we're doing wrong up here. We've only got about 15 layers on.
Yeah, I know. It's just silly. I should have worn 2 pairs of socks today.
Keep saying every week, hand warmers, and forget them. Football's keeping us warm, though, isn't it? It's been an entertaining game so far, and here's Keir. Hopefully we can get a couple more goals before full time. 20 minutes played in the second half. No real chances of note, really, in this second period.
No, and it's these sort of moments where the games hasn't really changed, and both teams are playing pretty even, that just one goal completely will change the mood of the game, and it's up to the teams to see who can.
Well, we were here 7 days ago for the men's MPL when Belconnen were 3-0 up and cruising. And Riverina Rhinos pulled one back, and all of a sudden we had a game on, and they scored again. And then what was and looked like a very easy 3 points suddenly turned into a football match. Yeah,
Riverina seem to be notorious for that, just constantly pushing and not giving up, and that team belief. And again, Belconnen seemed maybe got a little bit too comfortable, and all of a sudden there was a big game on their hands from an easy lead.
Remains to be seen whether Anthony Jagorinic's team will make the same mistake. One thinks not, considering what they've done all season. Like I said, they haven't conceded a goal for the last 4 matches. In fact, their last 5 games, they've beaten the Academy 5-1, Monero 3-0, Tuggeranong 6-0, Olympic 5-0, and Woden Western 4-0. So as far as form into finals goes, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's really good. And I think the positive thing is that they're not conceding lots of goals. So regardless of if they're scoring or not, they're not. If they don't concede, you can't lose. So for them, it's just about they don't even have to score as many as they have been to get the win.
Well, here they come again. The flag goes up, though, as a tight one against Clark. He'd run the channel. Munoz's pass. Can FC pull one back and give us a grandstand finale? I mean, we could well be looking at a preview of one of the finals games, depending on where everyone finishes. And depending on results, of course. This was the grand final last year. And the team in red came out on top. Started the match as underdogs. Be a game they'll remember for a long time. Berkeley's ball forward, intercepted by Day. Now Carnegie, good ball forward, here's Day again, but defensively it's a good cover by McLaughlin. Carnegie swings it into the area. Vasta had to be alert because Clark was lurking with intent. The young goalkeeper's done well. And the chase is on here for Kaporn. Keir, though, uses all of experience. So comfortable in possession, almost looks like she's gliding across the turf, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's any time playing against Lauren Keir and she's got the ball, there's no point risking to try press. She's not very prone to making mistakes, and a very confident player, and usually doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and just a rock for Belconnen year after year.
Here she is at the back. She asked me not to mention the fact she hasn't scored a goal this season, but there we go, I've just done it. Ball into the gap. Carnegie flags up again, 3rd time in quick succession. I mean, she's not there to score the goals, is she? But when your fullback's bagging 9.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that, it's hard when you're a centre-back if you're not up for the set pieces or you're not the set piece taker. The opportunities are rare, but perhaps she might get her some minutes up in 9 if they're going to be a bit experimental, or
maybe
even
a penalty.
Yeah,
maybe she was screaming for the one in the first half when Whittle went down.
I'm not sure if Michaela Day will give up a penalty that easily, though.
And she want to add to her tally, which sits at 5 at the moment. Makite, most of them earlier in the season, in fact, and most of them in the last couple of minutes of games. They keep going to the very end, which they'll do so today. Galich finds McLaughlin. Heaps of space in front of the Belconnen bench for Churchill. Looking for the run of Berkeley, but Raymond got in the way. Second chance for Churchill. Berkeley from Kaporn. Good piece of possession play. Tamaro sweeps it wide. And Galich looks to send it in towards Palumbi.
Yeah, and again, a nice little bit of possession from Canberra FC. Tamaroli is really composed and just switching the ball left to right. And if Canberra FC are patient and waiting for an option to open up, Belconnen, as the game goes on, might start to get a little bit too comfortable, and options will open up.
Yeah, Tamara and Berkeley have done very well in the middle of the park there, in the absence of Gill.
Interchanging and doing the roles both attacking and defensively.
Well, here they come. That's a good little run, this from Palumbi again into the penalty area. Rashart was there to get a foot in, and Keir completes the clearance. And once again, slippery as an eel, Brittany Palumbi in the corner. Just finds ways past players when there doesn't seem to be any space.
Yeah, that's the futsal, all those futsal years playing. She's a great futsal player, like you said, and just able to keep the ball under close control and move it when you didn't think she'll be able to get a touch.
Here's Clark. Raymond's made the run. It's a lung burster as well. Berkeley's back. Murphy looking to close it down. Here's Munoz. Clark. She has got a shot from distance. It's a dipper. And Vasta has it covered. But there's a good bit of skill in the corner from Columbia. We've seen some quality skills in the WMPL this season, Grace, and one of the best I've seen was Liddy Dawson's setup of a goal a couple of weeks ago for Meg McLaughlin.
Yeah, it was
outstanding
fantastic.
piece of
I
skill.
don't even know if she knew what she was doing. It was just a lot of turns and twists, and completely destroyed her player on the sideline, and a great cross. And she's one of the players in our team that still hasn't scored, but yet is providing assist after assist.
Munoz fires it across goal, and Clark almost got a touch on the far post, which she flummoxed us in the commentary box with the skill. It was an incredible piece, right tight to the touchline.
No, she's great. She's our little powerhouse, Lily, and we're time and time again praying that she scores. But
nearly bagged one last week.
Oh, many
good
times.
save from Tanini as well.
Plenty of shots. She's just such a hard-working and selfless player, and I think if you even traded in one of her assists for a goal, she wouldn't take it. She's
well, when
a
it
great
comes,
team player.
it will be a shank.
I'm sure
that's scuffed in the corner.
she'll be lifted up and celebrated.
All of those ones you strike really well and don't go in, and then you shin one in, deflects in off your heel or something. Ooh, that one's right in the face of Carnegie. Churchill caught a fair piece of that and just shakes it off.
Yeah, that's what we do in women's football. So in the Matildas match at the Tournament of Nations,
we did see that
Ellie
meme going around.
The smash in the face, and after a momentary on the ground, she got herself back, and hope she didn't end up with a concussion.
Comparing it to Neymar, who was down for like about 3 weeks.
I know, and coincidentally, Neymar's her favourite player. So
is it really? Well, there you go. Not often she get compared to Neymar. That's a great sure that's a credit. I'm sure Neymar will be happy with that.
Yeah.
Ellie Carmen is a good footballer. Substitution for Canberra FC. That's the end of the evening for Munoz, and Brittany Smales coming on, who I'm told is also the backup goalkeeper for this team.
So always a thought of mine that, instead of having a third keeper, could you perhaps have a field player that turns keeper? A lot of in the male competition, the keepers are very good footballers as well, and if you can do both, you're a great asset to any team. It's
not unusual, is it, in the women's competition either, with like say Chantal Jones played on the field. We saw actually here, speaking of the Riverina, the goalkeeper Johnny Ralulu, the Fijian international goalkeeper, played up front for them last week and created the second goal with a lovely piece of skill.
I think I saw when we played Tuggeranong a couple of weeks ago, Sabrina Sanchez, who's an ex-Actas goalkeeper, Canberra United Academy goalkeeper, swapped in and then started playing up as a striker. So they've got the background of football. They just don't always get the opportunity.
They say every goalkeeper fancies themselves as a striker, and every striker fancies themselves as a goalkeeper. So we'll see what happens. Brittany Smell, though, more known for her field work, to be fair, than her goalkeeping. When you've got Clara Manenica in goal, as solid as she is, like we said, hasn't conceded too many. Here's Murphy, Maguire. Here is Smell. Now Keir. Just over 15 minutes or so to go. Goldstein. It's a Canberra FC recovery. Goldstein, who's put in a huge amount of effort today. Looking to take it into space. Good ball in, and missed at the back for a moment by Rashart. Much unlike her. Pike was there to clear up though. Half a chance.
Yeah, it's one of those things, all it takes is a quick lapse in concentration, and if there had been a player right behind her, that would have been nearly a certain goal.
It's McLaughlin on the halfway line. It was her unfortunate deflection that increased the Blue Devils' lead after Maguire's wonder strike. Churchill has a cannon of a left foot, as Carnegie knows all about now. There's Genovese. Here's a foot race. Good timber. Hein Raymond's here. Into the area. Pike's there.
It's great use of the body from Genovese. She backed herself with pace, and Raymond, if she was going to have anything, it probably would have been a foul and a yellow card. So really smart play from the winger.
Kaporn tried to get that into the penalty area. She won a team a throw. Here's Genovese once more. Berkeley. McLaughlin. They've certainly shown in this second half, Grace, that they're a decent football team, FC.
Yeah, I'd actually really love to see Ivana Galic is doing really well, driving the ball forward, and love to see even if she had a little bit more presence up front, maybe reshuffle. I think she's got a lot to offer on the ball, and she's got a great strike on her too, and if they're chasing for that goal, she could prove the difference.
Goldstein will chase this. Raymond will get there first. Smale. Chance for FC to get forward with Pike. Belconnen rather, into the penalty area. Tried to force it. Belconnen don't mind the opposition having the ball though, do they? Like to hit on the break. And they've got plenty of pace to do so.
Yeah, they work hard to get back, and they've always got a couple up front lurking.
Well, here's a error by Smale. Can FC capitalise? Kaporn, Churchill. Keir's there. Now Day and Keir. Nice interchange of passes. Clark. Murphy, who's dropped deeper into that role, and that's a nice turn by Pike. She'd be disappointed she hasn't got on the score sheet yet.
Yeah, she's actually not been able to get forward as much as she'd like.
Yeah, the wingers have kept her honest, haven't they?
Which is credit to Canberra FC, but it seems Maguire and her have swapped for a little bit, and I'm sure now she'll be pushing to try get her 10th for the season.
She's very lucky, actually, because I was talking to Anthony Jaggerinic before kick-off, and he was saying the other week she was tracking down the left wing, telling Maddie Whittle to go cover for her. There's not many strikers that would be going, yeah, right then, I'll drop back and play left back for a little bit.
In fact, I don't think you'll find many, and Maddie's such a hard-working player that she's probably one of the few that are happy to, after a full-back's gone forward, to get back for them when asked.
She does it well, and this is why they're such a good team ethic. Here's Palumbi. Looking to find Kaporn. Now this might run out wide. Churchill has put the hammer down and is after this. Lung-bursting run forward for her, but Raymond's there.
Yeah, the pressure's done really well. Chen still managed to regain possession, and the field's starting to open up now, and if they can find the pockets, they can be in for a chance to pin one back.
Palumbi from range fires one goalwards. Manenica always behind it, though. Dipped on her at the last minute, though, so she had to be alert. Keir. Chase for Carnegie. If she can keep it in, it'll run away from her here on this slopey field at McKellar. Going to see another change for for Belconnen shortly. Be their fourth substitution. Jaggerinic ringing the changes. Acacia Argento, I think, is going to join us. Here's Day. Keir's made the run forward into the penalty area here. Further, she's been forward all game. Fires it across goal, and Vasta was there.
Got to the point of a little bit of tighter angle to go herself, but it's good to see that Keir's getting forward, and I'm sure she'll be secretly really hoping she gets an opportunity to...
Shackles released. Kaporn. Here she is in midfield at the moment, Keir. That's a nice touch from Genovese. Picked up by Smale, though. Maguire. Nice turn from Clark. Looks to get Maguire back in, but McLaughlin got the foot in. It's to send it forward, but it's easily picked off by Murphy. A bit scrappy the last couple of moments. Here's Wright. Galic. Well, Churchill. Nice ball forward that. And Genovese has got goal side of Rashard here. Rashard's back there to defend well and shows her skill and all her experience just to get in the way. But lovely run from Genovese and a great ball from Churchill.
Yeah, great little run, but really intelligent defending. Just slowly pushed her out wide and avoided the danger, and a great tackle to intercept the ball.
Might see two changes here. We've got Jordan Beaton almost getting ready to come on as well. With just under 12 minutes to play, live on Bar TV Sports. Belconnen United leading 2-0. A reminder, tomorrow we're at Deakin Stadium for Canberra FC versus Tuggeranong United in the men's MPL. Crucial match in the men's MPL, and we'll be keeping you right up to date with the huge tie down in Nijong between Tigers and Belconnen United throughout the afternoon as the men's MPL draws to a conclusion the final round of the season, even though there's a couple of catch-up games following that. 2 rounds of the women's competition left this round and the next one, and then into finals. Federation Cup as well in midweek, and then the final whenever they decide to fit that in.
Yeah, I think it's scheduled now to be the weekend, the 25th, Saturday the 25th, so that ever the finals get a weekend off if they're not in the Federation Cup final, and then straight into the regular season's finals.
So here we're going to see Jordan Beaton and Acacia Argento. Let's see who's coming off. Clark is coming off for Argento, so her experiment up front is done. And Lauren Keir isn't going to get her goal tonight. Jordan Beaton coming on for her as well. So changes galore for Belconnen United, and a chance for some of the, I guess you call them fringe players. They've all played their part this season, though, in the league championship.
Yeah, well, like you said, there's Carnegie's come on, but she's, been a regular sub for the team, and she's still managed to score a fair few goals. And it's great that Belconnen can get themselves in the position to give these players a run, and this is how they, continue to grow and build their squad. And it helps when you've got midweek games to have a strong squad depth-wise, and that's why they consistently are winning.
Well, FC have 10 minutes to find a way back into the contest if they're going to. Raymond up towards Maguire, who's taken up the number 9 position. That's a beautiful touch off the thigh. The chance for Argento, the first time we've seen her. And Churchill, as she's done for most of the match, defends well. Concedes the corner.
Really clever little touch from Maguire. Great control, and knew exactly what she's doing, and trusted in the pace of Argento, and won themselves corner.
Beautifully directed ball. She's now going to take the corner herself, Maguire. Argento hanging around the edge of the 6-yard box. That's where it's headed. Met at the near post by Goldstein, who got rid of it. Raymond picks it up, but Genovese's going to collect the scraps and send it forward towards Palumbi. Smales there. Raymond, intelligently done. Into midfield, Murphy. That's another good touch from Maguire over and around the corner. Not much you knew about that, but it was beautiful disguise to get rid of Churchill. And here's Kapoor now. Chance for Genovese again, and this another foot race with Raymond. Both players super quick, and Raymond with an outstanding tackle. Well, looked all ball from where I was.
Yeah, I thought it was a great challenge. She got the ball before the player, and but then again, ref's got a different view, and just in a threatening position.
Just seemed an absolutely perfectly timed challenge, didn't it, really?
Yeah, usually other refs will let that slide, but again, not here to ref, we're here to commentate, so
let that slide. Nicely played, the sliding tackle. Came in. Anyway, free kick's been given. FC will try to take advantage of the opportunity afforded them here. Galich has been given the responsibility.
Yeah, she might fancy herself a shot here.
Well, if she can fizz it into that 6-yard area, just drop it in front of the keeper there, might be an opportunity. Here she is. In fact, she's gone deeper than that. It's dropping, and it's Hapmanenica worried for a moment, and then the goalkeeper showed all her experience as it dropped over the crossbar. Just a bit too much on that from the central defender.
Yeah, got under it a little bit too much, kind of floated a little bit too long, which is why it went over the crossbar, but
And dare we say justice was probably done there.
Yes, yeah.
They're giving it away. Here's Goldstein looking to get a shot in, and that's a fairly hefty challenge. They've done well, and it's a good challenge from Rashart. Fair piece of the ball. Fair piece of the player as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a loud knock from, but again, yeah, great tackle, and I think Goldstein came out the worser of that.
Here's Maguire into the final 6 minutes of the match. Berkeley looks to force it forward. Day pirouettes in midfield. Well, Smale goes back to Rashart. Can Belconnen United add to their 2 goals? Not like that, they can't, unfortunately. That was Beaton's pass. Berkeley and Churchill. Genovese. I think full credit to Canberra FC. They've come out in the second half and they've certainly given it a go. Haven't threatened too much goal-wise, but they've played some good football.
Yeah, I think it's been really positive this second half. They've actually looked to almost dominate a little bit more in possession, and I think if they can start doing that consistently for the 90, the scoreline isn't 2-0 at half-time, and it's a much more competitive game. Fair
bit of feeling in it towards the end as well. Free kick awarded. Dave fouls Genovese. Galich has another opportunity to send this one in towards the Belconnen penalty area. We've sent 5 shirts forward as well. It's a bit flatter and too flat. Smell got a foot in, and Day uses all of experience. Is beaten. Intercepted by Galich, who'd hung around after the free kick. Kaporn, nice turn. Finds Pullenby. Can she spin away from it? Pike was alert to the danger. Just that final ball for them has just been lacking slightly, hasn't it?
Yeah, they're finding those passes into the back line, the attack for the Belconnen back line, but just not seeming to be able to face forward, to Belconnen's credit, but also get enough space to get a shot away or show any threat on goal.
Berkeley has been as good as anyone in the second half. Here's Churchill rampaging forwards. Wallace on Kaporn rather on the turn. Here's Churchill again. Prods one goalwards and took a bounce and asked a question of Manenica. Time running out though for Canberra FC. 4 minutes to go. Hard to argue that they deserve a point because Belconnen have probably been the better side. Yeah,
you know, if they could have perhaps had a couple more shots on goal or clear-cut chances, the score might not have been reflective, but Belconnen definitely have had the clear of chances and again proven they're consistent and the champions of the league.
You wouldn't begrudge them a goal, though, were they, for their endeavour that Canberra FC have put in today? They're still looking for one. Churchill with a thumping challenge twice. Falls for Day, who's off, and there's Churchill again with another great challenge, and that's a free kick as well. So very similar to the one at the other end.
I know.
They've won the ball, and free kick is given, surprisingly.
Yeah, I think they were 3 great tackles, but like the crowd is saying right now, same as up there. And I guess if you ask anything of the refs, it's that they're consistent.
It was consistent, wasn't it? Yeah, they gave a free kick at both ends of the park. We might not think it was.
No, but we haven't done the course.
No, and she's a lot closer.
Yeah.
You just can't slide in these days, I guess. That's what they're saying. I'm assuming, even though you've won the ball, it's the intent, I'm guessing, with the actual...
the aftermath.
The follow-through.
Mickey did cop a bit of a knock in that as well, but each
That's
ref is to their own.
She's the referee, and Beaton swings that one in. That's taken a deflection, and what's the decision here? Goal kick? You used to be able to slide in and make those sort of challenges, didn't you? But I don't think these days it seems to be frowned upon.
Well, I'm just absolutely shocking to do slide tackles, end up getting carpet burn and not getting anywhere to the ball. So
carpet burn on turf.
Exactly how. But
just don't tackle. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Berkeley
usually like to intercept.
Sign of a good player. Players that don't have to tackle.
Yeah.
Reading the game.
Yeah.
People who say that can't tackle, isn't it? Here's Genovese.
Very true.
Raymond wins that one. Goldstein, who's been impressive. That's a nice little triangle. Churchill finds the ball forwards, and here's opportunity perhaps for Palumbi, and she fires one goalwards, and that was moving a little bit. And asked a question, Manenica.
Yeah, but again, that's the first time they've Britt's really been able to find a lot of space on her left foot, and it was to the credit of that build-up was a lot of one-touch play and a great little curling ball in behind. If she was perhaps a little bit closer, the angle wasn't as tight, I'm sure she'd be nailing that one into the bottom corner.
90 seconds to go, chance perhaps for a consolation. Palumbi with the corner. It's a deep one. Well struck and good clearing header by Rashart, who's going to get the second opportunity to get rid of it. Let's turn around the corner. Goldstein. Churchill helps it on its way. Palumbi. One-on-one with Raymond. Took her on and takes her on again, Brittany Palumbi. Still going, and Raymond sticks to the task and gets the foot in as we approach the final 30 seconds of the match. Canberra FC finishing on the front foot. It's Belconnen United who are looking like they're going to finish with the points.
Yeah, a lot of positives for this second half for Canberra FC to take out and Belconnen to think about, and now with a counter-attack it's
Argento looking for Maguire. Argento's gone for the return. Here she is. She scored in the last minute against Canberra Olympic a couple of weeks ago. Is there a late finish here in towards Maguire? FC clear. Smale, bit heavy on the touch. Churchill into stoppage time, of which there'll be a couple of minutes, I'd imagine. Capone inside. Looking from Tamaro. Back to Capone. Pike wins it. And here's Murphy. Carnegie's ball into the penalty, towards the penalty area, easily won by McLaughlin. Frantic finish with Belconnen United there.
You can see earlier on Michaela telling a lot of the backline to slow the ball down, keep the ball. I think she can sense the pressure Canberra FC have been building and are trying to run the game out, which again is positive signs for Canberra FC heading into finals.
Of which they will be a part. They will finish in the top three. Where they are going to finish remains to be seen. They're going to finish today in third place because the final whistle has gone. Carlini Mullet brings the match to a close, and with Canberra United Academy winning 6-1 earlier today, that's going to mean that Canberra SC will drop to third on the ladder ahead of next week's games. Pretty critical one. Canberra Olympic versus Canberra United Academy. You can put a real spanner in the works, so to speak, next week.
I think it'll be a great game. We're really looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens towards the end of the season.
Here today, though, it's been Belconnen United who've been the better side, and it's hard to argue that they haven't deserved to be league champions, unbeaten all seasons, one round to go, been worthy winners and worthy champions. Yeah,
definitely, and I'm sure they'll be looking to finish off with a perfect season and then head into finals full of confidence.
Thanks for your company again, Grace. We're going to leave you to warm up and look forward to your match tomorrow against Monero Panthers, and then to ponder in the week how you stop 42-goal Aoife Colville. Sneaky little kick here and there, maybe.
Yeah, no. Well, it'll be a great match. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Grace. Pleasure to have you. Hopefully speak to you again before the end of the season here at McKellar Park. Thanks for watching. Remember, tomorrow, Canberra FC versus Tuggeranong United in the men's MPL. Huge match there at Deakin Stadium. Here at Belconnen United, it's McKellar Park. It's been a crowning of the champions. They've been the best side all season. They've got one game to go. It's away against Gungahlin. Their final home league match of the season has resulted is, as many others have, a 2-0 victory, a win for Anthony Jagarinik and his team. A wonder goal from Jazz Maguire after 11 minutes gave them a lead, and then an unfortunate own goal to Amy McLaughlin made it 2. In the second half, Canberra FC came back into it, but Belconnen worthy winners. Thanks for your company. It's finished Belconnen 2, Canberra FC 0.